Hello, folk. Sorry, the cat's just come up. This is Pierre. I've been wanting to do a video, or a few of them, on Facebook for quite a while now, and probably ever since COVID came and changed our world as we know it. And suddenly, all over the world, there are people homeschooling that never dreamt that they would be. And so in a way, I just wanted to share some of the stuff that I've learned over 24 years of homeschooling my 6 children, and some of the joys that I've had along the way. I'm Rosie Boom. I live in Whangarei on a small lifestyle block with Chris and our youngest son now. We have also 3 of our married children living in different places on our property, so that's a real treat. But it all began for me 25 years ago. April 1994, I wrote in my diary, "I am absolutely in love with my children. I feel sad at the thought of Josiah going to school. Am thinking about homeschooling, ... Well, that's where it all began. I never would have dreamt that those 3 dots would hold so much incredible joy for us as a family. Josiah was 4. When he was 4, he was still having an afternoon nap. He was a very active little boy. I started thinking about schooling options. We had a nearby small country school, but there were a few reasons why I didn't want to send him there. And I began thinking, did I want to hand my precious little boy over to a teacher, a good teacher I'm sure, but someone who didn't love him like I did, and who definitely wouldn't have shared the same values and as Chris and I did. So it took a while, and it was a scary process, but in the end I just decided. I read a beautiful verse in Deuteronomy 6, and I'm going to read it from my laptop here. Deuteronomy 6 verse 5 and 7. It became the mandate for me, and stayed that way all through my schooling. These commandments that I give you today are to be upon your hearts. Impress them on your children. Talk about them when you sit at home, and when you walk along the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. So I began, and it was such an exciting time. At that time, Josiah was 5, Katie was 4, she's only 13 months younger, and she was keen. And the 3 of us spent such happy hours reading together. Learning just became a part of our days. We read all sorts of wonderful books. We got a whole stack of National Geographic magazines, and I bought them 2 project books, and they cut out beautiful photos of animals and glued them into project books, and I'd read out to them about those animals. I remember one big killer whale that had 13 dolphins in it, and a score of seals, fascinating things. We sat outside at night, we studied the stars, we did music, and we made puppets and did puppet shows. They did a journal story every morning, just simple, just might have been, today Daddy brought home a baby lamb. And I would write it in the top line, and then Josiah and Katie would copy it carefully. So that was handwriting, and then they'd draw a beautiful picture. I ordered a few books, not many though, not many. I just started with English and a simple maths, and we just loved it. We just enjoyed it. In the winter, we sat by a fire, my beautiful homewood stove. In the summer, we'd sit outside under trees, And it was just precious. And I realised that homeschooling gave to me, the biggest gift it gave to me was time. 8 extra hours a day to homeschool, to be with my children, to nurture them, to teach them just about life and values. And do you know, it wasn't something I had to squeeze into at the end of the day. So, hello, Christina. I've watched them grow up over the 24 years, and I watched them become teenagers, 13 going on 13, and that is a blessing. I watched them play games together and enjoy each other, and a closeness came in our family. And I know we owe it to those years of homeschooling. So I just want to encourage all of you that have started this huge challenging thing, and scary, yes I know, and an incredible sense of, oh, can I do this? No I can't, yes I can. You can, and yes you'll make mistakes, but you will gain so much from this. I will ever be thankful for the fact that when I homeschooled my dyslexic son, he kept a healthy self-esteem. And when I actually got him tested by the assessment, she did the assessment and then she said, do you know, Rose, the best thing you ever did for your Sam was, and I knew what she was going to say, hey Jake, but I said, oh, what was that? And she said, homeschooling him. Yes. And she said, he's got such a lovely self-confidence, and she said, don't you worry, he'll learn to read in his own good time. And I still remember the day that Jacob came to me, and he would have been 8, and Sam was 10, and Jacob said to me, he put his hands on his hips and he said, all Sam ever does now is read. And I remember I clapped my hands, and he frowned at me and he said, it was not meant as a compliment. But it was just a wonderful time. So yes, they've had some high achievements. My greatest feeling of joy, though, is that each one of them have chosen to follow the Lord and haven't fallen prey to so many of the traps that are lying out there for young people today. So I encourage you, do it, keep going, and even if you have a bad day, shrug it off. Think, we'll do it again tomorrow, because it's not. You don't have to tick everything off at the end of the day. What you do want to have ticked off is that you've had some time together, you've listened to each other, you've maybe read a good book. Even if you just do that, it's okay. So be encouraged. Over the next wee while, I want to do some different videos, and I want to talk about some of the main challenges and the main things that I've done that have brought a great sense of joy to our family, how to tackle certain things, how to create a joyful, loving home. In fact, I think I'll do that next. I went to China in 2000 and I can't remember, but I gave the Chinese parents ahead of time a whole list of workshops that I could do for them. And the amazing thing was that every single event, all of them chose the same thing, and that was how to create a close, loving family. So that's what I think I'll do it on next time. In the meantime, I just want to say well done for those of you that have picked up this challenge, and it's going to be challenging, yes, but it will hold joys that you would never dream of. In those 3 dots, I am thinking of homeschooling, ... And here I am, a quarter of a century later, saying it was the best journey in the world for me. All right, God bless you.